Oh, wow. Okay. Wide receiver Trey Palmer out of Nebraska is the selection here. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers gave up a 2024 fifth round pick. They traded up to pick number 191, and they have selected wide receiver Trey Palmer out of Nebraska. This is a guy that a lot of people wanted to potentially be on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in the later rounds here. He fell all the way to pick number 191, and he is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selection. There is, I imagine, a lot of Bucs fans that are going to be very happy about Trey Palmer being on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It was a guy that definitely had a lot of fanfare in a lot of different types of situations. He's got good size at 6'1" as well, folks. He's got good ability as a wide receiver coming out of Nebraska, only 22 years old. And look, the Bucs needed another wide receiver to add to that mix, another guy to compete as a backup wide receiver, because you have Devin Tompkins there, you have Kalen Geiger, but you did need a little bit more behind Mike Evans, behind Chris Godwin, and behind Russell Gage. The Bucs finally get some wide receiver depth, and they only had to use a 2024 fifth round pick to do so. That is not a bad trade up in my opinion. I think that that is reasonable, especially whenever the talent is there. A 4.33 40-yard dash, by the way, 1.51 10-yard split. This dude was a kick returner and a punt returner while in college. He went over to Nebraska after he spent some time at LSU. He was with LSU for a little bit. He was a 100-meter dash guy, state track guy. He was able to do so many different types of things. He was an LSU guy. He was now a Nebraska guy. He was projected to be a guy in the fifth round, according to Lance Zierlein. But now he is joining the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He was an absolute kickoffs and punt return specialist, and that's what the Buccaneers are getting. But he still has receiving ability, 1,043 receiving yards on 71 receptions. That is crazy. 9 touchdowns as well. This guy's going to be an absolute gadget weapon for the Bucs. He is. He's going to be a backup wide receiver who's got blazing speed. 4.33 40-yard dash. But he's also going to be probably your returner now moving forward at kick returner and at punt returner. In the Bucs, again, you trade up to get a guy who was projected as a fifth round. That's good value. That's just good value there, point blank, simple as that. You trade up for a returner. You trade up for a backup wide receiver. I think that Trey Palmer can be a sneakily good receiver, man. You got blazing speed. You're going to be worked in this defense. You get just a good football player, period, who can offer you many different types of things. He can be your fourth wide receiver, just pencil him in right now, right off the bat, and he can be a starting starting kickoff and punt returner for you as well. So all in all, I think this is a very, very solid pick, and it's overall good value. I think people wanted Trey Palmer in the fifth round, possibly even the fourth round as well. The Buccaneers trade up to get him in the middle of the sixth round here. I really don't think that you could necessarily argue with that. I really don't think so. And again, I want to look back at that speed. 4.33 40-yard dash, man. That is some next level speed. Now, if this was like a Bruce Arians style of offense, it'd be even crazier, right? Because of that vertical deep threat style of passing. But even here, you think of yards after the catch, you think about getting this guy out in space, you think about using him in so many different types of ways. Sweeps, end around, 6 foot, 192 pounds is still a very good size for a speedy wide receiver like this as well. 4.33 40-yard dash at 192 pounds, that's pretty good, man. I really do like this selection here of Trey Palmer. I think that this is going to be one of the sneakier good selections of the draft here for the Bucs, and I think that you're going to be really seeing Trey Palmer pop off the page and really showcase some of that really good speed, showcase some of that really good receiving ability, showcase some of that really good returning ability as well right off the jump with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because he has all those tools. He's got some good size as a receiver. You can play him inside, outside, wherever you want to play him. We don't necessarily know what that's going to be yet. We'll have to figure that out, obviously, but this is a pick that I'm sure a lot of Bucs fans are going to enjoy. A lot of Bucs fans are going to be very excited about, and it's very, 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 very understandable to see why. because he's got all the tools there to be a guy who can contribute right away in this Dave Canales offense, be a weapon for whoever's going to be a quarterback for the Buccaneers, and all in all, just be a productive player on this Buccaneers offense. Trey Palmer, coming out of Nebraska, is a selection here at pick number 191 for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. They traded up to get him.